Plants, one of the foundations of life on Earth, yet so often taken for granted in the modern world.
There's this thing called green blindness, where we just see plants as a big mass of green.
Without plants, we don't have life.
If we didn't have those big trees, we'd have fewer birds, fewer mammals, fewer insects.
Now, there's a growing movement to return to our roots and embrace the natural.
Walking around a garden, you feel better.
We want people to understand the importance of plants and fungi and the role that they play in protecting life on Earth.
Trees provide us everything that we need. They take in our carbon dioxide to make oxygen.
From preserving the planet to improving our health, how can we uncover the surprising secrets plants hold?
The next drugs that could be used for cancer, for things like diabetes.
Plants are the future.
We can learn from what Mother Nature has already discovered.
Behind acres of lush greenery and over 250 years of history lies a garden that holds the keys to unlocking the true potential of real botanicals.
You can imagine the amount of information that's at their fingertips.
So exciting. We now have the possibility to answer these questions.
The world's top botanists are on a mission, inspired by science and nature, to reveal the raw power, magical qualities, and stunning beauty of plants.
We really are just scratching the surface here.
The most biodiverse place on the planet isn't the Amazon rainforest. It's just outside one of the biggest cities in the world, London, England.
We have 75% of all plant species from over 115 countries.
The Royal Botanic Gardens Kew sits on 300 sprawling acres of beauty.
Just in terms of per unit area, we've got more species and more variation than anywhere else on the planet.
It's here they strive to understand how the natural elements inside plants, or botanicals, can be used to better our lives.
All life depends on plants. Without plants, we don't have life. We need plants for food, medicine, fuel. Pretty much all of our basic needs are primarily met by plants.
Kew's mission is to be the global resource for plants and fungal knowledge, and what that means is we want people to understand the importance of plants and fungi and the role that they play in protecting life on Earth.
We have over 300 scientists working to resolve questions about the evolution of plants, why they matter, and why we should conserve them as well.
But before they were the global authority on plants, Kew began as a garden, created by England's royalty nearly 260 years ago.
So Kew started in 1759, and it was created by Princess Augusta and Prince Frederick around the mid-1700s. Princess Augusta died, her son George III took over the garden.
So it's King George who really took things to the next level. He was really fascinated by the natural world, and he employed plant collectors to go out into the world and find rare, unique, just sometimes really unusual plants, and they brought them back to Kew.
By the mid-1800s, the new director of Kew met an ambitious young naturalist, and the two formed a lasting friendship.
Charles Darwin was a close friend of Joseph Hooker, and we have sketches, notes, drawings from his famous voyage on the Beagle. We also have plant samples from that voyage. Those are hugely valuable to science. And Darwin used Hooker as a bit of a sounding board for his new ideas, and in fact, origin of species wouldn't be what it is today without that relationship.
Almost 200 years later, Kew now receives nearly 2 million annual visitors to explore the awe-inspiring grounds and architectural marvels.
So one of the most special places at Kew is the Temperate House. It's the world's largest remaining Victorian glass house.
It's absolutely huge. We've got 10,000 rare and endangered plants in there from all four corners of the world.
So this is the living collection of aloes, the display in the Princess of Wales Conservatory here at Kew. It's just the tip of the iceberg. We have many other species of aloes cultivated behind the scenes as well.
So in 2008, we built the treetop walkway. It's in the center of the Arboretum, and it looks out over this incredible tapestry of trees. Here at Kew, we have 14,000 trees in the Arboretum, a huge number. every country, every continent is represented here. Trees are like people. And one thing that people don't know is that trees are moody and they get stressed, but they're beautiful when they're happy. And one of our jobs is to ensure that all our trees are de-stressed and happy.
Without trees, the world would fall out of balance.
There's this thing called green blindness, where we just see plants as a big mass of green, and we might think that they're beautiful, but we don't appreciate the diversity of plants and the importance of diversity in plants.
There's a wealth of material in that tree. So there'll be bats in that tree, there's fungus in that tree, there's a huge number of insects that all use that tree as a home, and that is really important. If we didn't have those big trees, we'd have fewer birds, fewer mammals, fewer insects, and less fungi.
Beyond the natural beauty lies the scientific backbone of Kew. The herbarium, a vault of the world's plant knowledge going back to Darwin himself.
So the herbarium to me is the heart of the science at Kew. It houses the main collection of estimated over 7 million different dried plant samples here that represent the diversity of plants, on our planet.
Professor Monique Simmons leads a team that uses this historical database to compare with botanicals in the present.
Here we have a sample from Darwin, collected from the Galapagos Islands back in 1835. Something to look at, but it's also a tool that we can use in our research. It's really a kind of a privilege to be part of this, the history of our understanding of plant evolution.
Kew also recognizes the importance of collecting and preserving plants for generations to come.
The Millennium Seed Bank in Wakehurst is a global storage facility for wild seeds. It was set up in the year 2000, and it's basically a huge, deep storage for the world's endangered seeds. There are 2 billion seeds, and that number's growing every year.
It's that brilliant insurance policy against natural disasters, man-made disasters, and indeed climate change. For example, in the British Virgin Islands, they got absolutely mauled by Hurricane Irma. A hurricane comes, completely wipes out a forest. If that forest is not able to recover on its own, we can provide seed to repatriate and restore that habitat.
Plants are critical to providing solutions that can improve humanity.
The work that we do here at Kew will greatly influence what we plant. We're looking at trees and how they respond to climate change, how they respond to pests and diseases.
Aloe vera and its relatives all seem to show really strong characteristics towards drought tolerance. These adaptations could prove really useful to us in future under climate change scenarios.
To help conserve plants, it often helps if you can show a use. It has an economic value, and therefore it can justify that plant being grown, especially if it's, say, in a forest plant. And if they can be then linked in with a supply chain for a product that is going to have a long history for use, etc., then you're going to support not only the justification of those plants being used, but those communities. And to us, that's very important because it helps conserve plant diversity.
Through their centuries of experience, Kew is uniquely suited to identify and verify botanicals that can heal and protect our bodies from damage.
Here behind the scenes at Kew is kind of unlocking the secrets that plant contain, those ingredients that could be the next drugs that could be used for cancer, for things like diabetes. A key area of interest is antibiotics, etc. We really face big problems, and plants have to defend themselves against bacteria, so how do we capture that?
This mission brought Kew and one of the largest hair care brands in the world, Herbal Essences, together in a groundbreaking partnership to bring their findings to everyone on a global scale. A major breakthrough has been unearthing the protective benefits of a botanical called histidine, found in many ordinary plants.
Histidine is an amino acid. Amino acids are the building blocks naturally found in our hair, in our skin, and in plants.
It's an essential amino acid And the fermentation of corn is a very good source. It's antioxidant, which means that it gets rid of or binds to kind of free radicals that are there that are associated with stress. It's also important because it helps bind to metals.
We are able to use this ingredient to improve the health of hair. The histidine is able to neutralize all of those free radicals.
So if your hair's got copper in or something like that, it can help reduce the amount of copper.
Exactly, and we know copper is one of the culprits when it comes to damaging hair. Working with the botanists at Kew gives me an opportunity to understand why these ingredients are so beneficial for your hair.
Histidine is just one example of an amazing botanical that exists in nature.
Take a plant like rosemary. We're trying to capture that pure essence.
In the quest to improve our lives with more natural solutions, Kew is investigating plants grown and harvested all over the world.
Aloe is full of rich vitamins and nutrients.
We can do everything with argan oils.
Sometimes in unexpected ways.
There's goats that literally climb up the trees to get the argan fruit.
Within the walls of the Royal Botanic Gardens Kew is the most diverse collection of plants in the world. But their purpose is fueled by a deep connection with the outside world, where botanicals are at their best.
Plants are part of nature. Nature is variable. We're currently looking and authenticating, identifying all the material that is used. That's our starting point.
5,000 miles away from Kew in London, a familiar yet incredible botanical thrives in the dry climate of the southwestern US and Mexico.
So the aloe juice or extract is full of all these amazing polysaccharides. So amazing that many people drink them. There's something that you can use on your skin topically. Aloe is full of rich vitamins and nutrients.
Aloe is not just a houseplant common for treating sunburns. It's been used for centuries for its ability to heal and hydrate.
I think one of the key things is it's that long tradition for being used for skin, for treating wounds. Aloe has very interesting moisturizing properties.
Now, Kew is working to unlock the secrets of how this super succulent works.
My question as a botanist is what makes aloe vera special? This is just one species in a genus of over 500 very closely related species, but somehow, over thousands of years, this particular species was selected by people and preferred or favored for its medicinal uses.
So my first experience with really seeing the power of plants, I was walking to class one day with a friend and she had a bug bite on her leg. So there was an aloe plant and she leaned down, broke off a piece and started just applying the liquid inside it to her leg. And I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Anytime you have a problem with your skin and you have irritation, you should just break off a leaf of the aloe plant." So that was my first experience with the power of botanicals.
Aloe vera is sustainably sourced by hand, 2 or 3 leaves at a time. This process ensures the future health and benefits of the plant.
Aloe vera is such an iconic plant. Many of us have it growing on our windowsills. There's just something between people and aloe vera that makes us cultivate this plant and use it. At the moment, we just don't have an answer for what the magic ingredients in aloe vera is.
On the tip of North Africa, another amazing botanical is found with a surprisingly unique origin.
Argan oil comes from the fruit from the argan plant, and it's usually found in very dry conditions.
Argan trees are only endemic to Morocco.
Just outside Marrakesh, the argan trees bear fruit in the summer, attracting some very nimble goats.
There's goats that literally climb up the trees to get the argan fruit.
The goats then spit out the seeds, which are harvested by hand to make argan oil.
Once the argan fruit is removed, there's the argan seed inside. The argan seed is pulled away to reveal the kernels, and those kernels are cold pressed into the amazing argan oil.
First, the seed is cracked to separate the outer skin. Then the kernels are crushed inside a traditional machine to make a liquid paste, which is squeezed into argan oil. The results of this process yield vitamins and nutrients with many natural health benefits.
So we can do everything with argan oil. It's gold, liquid gold. It's good for us to eat, good for the cholesterol, diabetes, and hypertension because the argan oil is rich of vitamins A and omega-3, 6, and 9. Argan oil also good for eczema, acne, psoriasis, or stretch mark.
It has a profile of fatty acids that differ from other fruit. That's really a key for this particular plant. Why it's evolved to do that, we actually still don't really know. But those essential oils, again, have antioxidant properties. They also have moisturizing and they give shine to hair.
Like humans, plants have their own unique fingerprints, and they're the key to Kew's research.
Behind the scenes, we're looking at kind of the secrets that are associated with those plants. How do you capture that knowledge? Exactly which are the plants that do that?
Botanicals like aloe and argan oil are best when sourced in nature, but that makes them variable. Now, Kew's found a way to identify and authenticate the quality of botanicals that come from wild plants.
So how we can use the collections at Kew is, one, to find the plants that have the activities that people are interested in. That's the first stage. Fingerprint them so we have an idea of the chemistry that's associated with the bioactivity. And that is a really key element of the projects that we're doing.
Monique and her team have modeled unique patterns for key botanicals, just like a human fingerprint, comparing them against 200 years of historical archives from the herbarium.
This 3D model of a botanical fingerprint, the white one has these extra peaks that are really high. This extract was taken in the springtime and it had tons of sugar. Where this extract, it was taken during the winter when the tree is dormant. So this will tell us the quality of our extracts. We want to make sure that we're extracting it at the right time of the year.
You can go further and give an indication often of the concentration of the different ingredients there. So you've got the diversity, which is showing you that this actually has got far more peaks.
What we're trying to do here behind the scenes at Kew is harbour the secrets that are contained in plants for a whole range of things. So understanding wound healing, being able to capture the beauty of plants.
Kew scientists are now capable of verifying the quality of dozens of botanicals that go into Herbal Essence's BioRenew products.
It's a really fantastic opportunity for Kew to partner with a global brand, and it helps us spread our scientific message about the value of plants.
So here we can take a plant, say, for example here, like rosemary, and we know this has been taxonomically confirmed, not only the right species, but the right variety, and is of quality.
And then by botanical fingerprinting the rosemary, you understand more about the useful ingredient components.
We can make sure it really is an authentic, good quality that you're going to use in your products.
These important discoveries and real botanicals make their way to millions of homes every day.
We talk to women all over the world, and the demand for naturally derived ingredients is real.
So it's important that you take the science seriously as you design a product. I mean, you cannot just say, well, I'll drop the strawberry in there and that'll provide the benefit that a person thinks they're going to get from a strawberry. When someone's standing at the shelf and trying to decide which one of these products to buy, I think the credential of the Royal Botanic Gardens Kew will give them the confidence that they can trust because because of the naturally derived ingredients inside.
I think consumers are increasingly interested in what goes into the products that they're using. They have the reassurance of knowing that the plant ingredients have been identified and authenticated by Kew, the world's leading authority on plant science.
So at Kew, we think there are plant-based solutions to many of the world's critical and pressing challenges. And it's the science that underpins our understanding of plants that do that.
Kew's mission is to better our world through nature and science. And together with herbal essences, they're changing the standards in the beauty industry.
It's a really exciting and important partnership because we've got so many fantastic ideas. We're looking at new product development.
We really believe in this partnership and the power that it has. Importantly, the mission that Kew has overall. So a portion of all the proceeds from the sale of these Herbal Essence BioRenew products that are credentialed by Kew go back to Kew to help them continue to fund their mission so that they will be helping the world for generations to come.
Scientists must continue to innovate. Plants hold the keys to our future with the unparalleled ability to improve our health, food, beauty, climate, and lives.
For me, you can sum up Kew with two words: beauty and science. And the fact that we have 350 scientists at Kew who are doing vital work to protect plants and fungi for all of us.
Just walking around a garden, you feel better. Now, that's not just visual, it's the fact that you're absorbing the essential oils from a plant that we know have an effect on your nervous system, make you feel better. How do you capture that knowledge, exactly which of the plants that do that? That's a key to a lot of our research here at Kew.
The power of plants is all around us. And this is just the first of many steps towards fascinating discoveries to come.
There's so much of the world that still needs exploring. Plants are the future.